But now, after I finished and uploaded the reaction that I gave for the She-Hulk trailer, and if you haven't checked it out, definitely check it out on my YouTube. Whatchamacallit, we finally got a new Rockstars deep dive of basically the little clues and Easter eggs of what to expect for this series. And obviously, I enjoyed the Thor one, and basically like he actually goes in a great well deep dive because whatever he saw from the Thor one actually is like confirmed because of other stuff that I've seen. Obviously, I'm not spoiling myself too much because I want to be like go with the blank state of what to expect for this movie, but I want to see what exactly there will have for this one. But before I do that, intro.
El paso del gigante.
This that baking soda shit, water whip. And my diamonds cost a grip. Hit that hoe again, riding around LA in a fucking Benz. This that baking soda shit.
All right, and let me raise up the volume because the last time I watched one of these, the video was like very short, or not very short, but it was like low. But let's see. The She-Hulk trailer.
Rockstars, I'm Eric Voss, and this is a breakdown of the new trailer for She-Hulk on Disney Plus, starring Tatiana Maslany as Jennifer Walters, attorney at law, cousin to Bruce Banner, and someone.
Oh, cousin. So, so it kind of was like in the ballpark where it was like, are they like related or something like that? And I just learned the fact that they're cousins. Awesome.
Whom my admiration, I swear to you, remains wholesome professional respect.
Telling you, the freaking down battery even got this man. No.
Anyone complaining about the CGI? We just may be better off in the uncanny valley right now because if this looked too lifelike, major portions of the productivity in America would have come to a screeching halt when this trailer dropped. From the return of Tim Roth as Emil Blonsky Abomination to
Like obviously this little clue, like
to a screeching
hold on,
halt when this trailer dropped. From the return of Tim Roth.
that this man what is from like the I don't even recall like if this one like was like kind of the original Incredible Hulk, but like it was that one Incredible Hulk movie where basically Abomination looked freaking terrifying as hell, and the fact that he also is being brought back as Abomination of the now is like crazy. Like they didn't bring back the other Bruce, but Multiverse.
As Emil Blonsky Abomination to Frogman sightings.
What the hell's the Frogman? Like I will never understand that. Is that like a villain or is that like a hero?
And precisely why the CGI might be a little off in some spots, I'm gonna break down this trailer frame by frame.
Oh, dude, they put the scene. This freaking scene was awesome. Like watching it like live on the trailer. Freaking amazing. Like superhero landing. Freaking awesome.
The details that
Then we got the down battery in the last one.
Being a superhero.
Let me raise up the volume a little bit more.
Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
I'll probably like put it like this.
So we open on the LA skyline, already a bit of a change of the pace for the MCU, which hasn't really been in the modern day LA area since Iron Man 3. We hear the voice of Bruce Banner giving the hero talk to his cousin Jennifer as a fancy event comes under siege. This actually looks like the event that Jen later in this trailer attends in her nice dress. And now outside, we see these armored.
Okay, not to be messed up, but like whenever like I saw like She-Hulk like that, it gave me the vibe of like the Green Giant, like the can of like sweet corn or the peas. Like it's that like brand, and I was like I can't get that image off of my head of the fact that she's like human and just green, and it gives me the vibe of like the Green Giant. I was like, oh
Soldiers
gosh.
carrying these interesting looking weapons. These actually look
Proton
like
blaster.
a smaller handheld version of the sonic cannons that General Ross used on Hulk in the 2008 film, which according to that movie's opening credits actually came from a Stark Industries design. These showed up later equipped on the Stark drones in Spider-Man Far From Home, and War Machine's suit had a version of this in Civil War. In this case, it looks like a defensive measure used against Hulk-powered threats, maybe She-Hulk or Titania. Then we see
Oh, there we go, Titania. So like I was assuming like what's gonna go on in that scene of the like the fighting scene. It could be Titania.
this gang carrying some interesting weapons, crowbars, hooks, a crossbow. What kind of threat are they facing if not a supernatural one, like vampires or werewolves? There's an eccentric mix of tones in this trailer, perhaps reflecting this series format as a 9-episode half-hour legal comedy with
Oh, it's 9 episodes? Wow, dude, this is gonna get freaking wild then.
taking on a new case of the week each week, which all could showcase a different aspect of the Marvel world. Vampires specifically have come up more and more, like in Loki and Eternals. Eternals, of course, introduced Blade in its post-credit scene. We saw a crossbow in the Sanctum Undercroft in Spider-Man No Way Home. This October is going to be Werewolf by Night Halloween special. She-Hulk just seems like a very apt place to introduce these different things. This gang may also be the Wrecking Crew from the comics, also known for wielding crowbars, or they could just be another group of guys carrying weird shit. Then we see a car wreck, which might be part of the inciting incident of Jen's transformation. Now in the comics,
she was just like driving and oh shit. Like we're just flying. Holy crap. It's like, where are we now? Like, I totaled my car. Now what the hell am I supposed to do to get back?
Jennifer Walters, as a prosecutor cracking down on organized crime, ends up getting targeted by the mafia and shot, leaving to her cousin Chris having to give her a transfusion. And that blood is how she ends up getting her Hulk powers. However, later in this trailer, Jen appears outside that car looking at the dark reflection in the dented car door, and she already begins to transform. So maybe she got a transfusion before this, or it may just be innate to her family DNA, perhaps activated by that shockwave of gamma radiation when Hulk snapped everyone back in Endgame, which is something that Hulk indicated.
The radiation's mostly gamma. It's like, I was made for this.
So the unique...
No, like, literally, like, seeing Mark Ruffalo's, like, Hulk is, like, so much different than seeing, like, the 2008 one or, like, the other Hulks that they, like, had before. Like, it's so crazy.
Of Banner's blood that initially reacted to the gamma radiation in a specific way to turn him into Hulk, maybe the same unique DNA trait
is going to happen with her.
Jen's blood. And now that everyone on Earth has been hit with gamma radiation, it just caused her to react this specific way. We get a quick shot of
that would be actually, like, factual and more like of a right, like, correct path. Because obviously, like, we did see Hulk try to do the snap, and literally, like, he also got his hand burned from it. And damn, like, isn't like gamma rays like bad though? But I don't know. It's the MCU.
Jen's hulked out physique and athletic gear. We saw this in the November teaser. Again, I just love how she's wearing the white, purple, and black color scheme as she does in her longtime clothes in the comics. Moving on.
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends. Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency.
Yeah, like that building was so wild.
A superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
Okay, so I understood a little bit now that I'm listening to it again because I only watched it once, and obviously it's a superhuman court division that basically she's obviously an attorney, so it would be great for her since she has like a supernatural ability now, and obviously she's gonna be like court casing all these like prosecutors that they're gonna get, and that's gonna be crazy. Like seeing freaking Abomination come out of nowhere.
It starts from a little green flare of light from beneath Marvel, suggesting that it might be a burst of gamma radiation that was the cause of Jen's transformation.
Look, see, I would have never like assumed that.
Jen introduces us to her world as she hangs out with her friend Nikki, played by Ginger Gonzaga. They have open wine bottles all over the house, and the wine bottle to her right
they like to drink a lot.
Velvet Devil label. Stop putting devil fake outs in all your trailers, Marvel. You're just making him angry. Hamilton's
devil
Renee
fake
Lee
outs.
Scolberry plays Amelia. I'm assuming a legal colleague of Jennifer's. In her office is an hourglass because she's obviously a TVA agent. Please click away. If I don't at least mention these things, he punishes me. But it's worth noting that.
Oh, that is very interesting. A TVA. going with cross reference of Loki.
In the comics, She-Hulk represents a variety of clients, working one case in front of the TVA, and another time representing Eros in a sexual assault case. Probably not gonna be in the MCU. Josh Segarra plays another employee.
that would be bad. That would be bad for Harry Styles.
GLK/H in the same design as the November title card for this series that thankfully now has been updated because I like this new title way better. GLKH stands for Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, which is the name of Jen's law firm in the 2004 run of the comics by Dan Slott. Now the name Goodman was a reference to Marvel publisher Martin Goodman, Lieber a reference to Stan Lee's actual last name, Stanley Martin Lieber, and Kurtzberg a reference to Jack Kirby's legal last name, Kurtzberg. In the comics, these three partners are never shown.
Dude, that is a freaking awesome homage to them. Obviously, rest in peace to the greatest Stan Lee. But like the fact that they will never be forgotten because of this acronym.
Their three letters are
freaking
together.
awesome.
Holloway is the only partner who Jen deals with. When Jen and Nikki get shots, Jen's clothes are actually She-Hulk's color scheme once again. Black blazer, white shirt, green pants, and purple light on her shirt. Then we see this awesome new maximum security facility located in the middle of the desert with high perimeter walls and an energy field fence on the drive-in. This interesting architecture makes me wonder if this could be the MCU version of the Cube, originally a S.H.I.E.L.D. black site in the Nevada desert.
It's gonna go to the fact that, oh crap, it's like literally someone's trying to break out. Let's transform into a cube. Like all transformed into a cube.
Gamma irradiated inmates and also became the home base of the Thunderbolts. The patches on the guard show a sigil of an eagle carrying arrows that looks a lot like the U.S.
Who? Wait, hold on. I need to see the.
This interesting architecture makes me wonder if this could be the MCU version of the Cube, originally a S.H.I.E.L.D. black site in the Nevada desert designed to contain gamma irradiated inmates and also became the home base of the Thunderbolts.
The Thunderbolts, which is basically Luke Cage, Deadpool, Red Hulk, Juggernaut, Punisher, Black Widow, Iron Fist, and Hawkeye. What the hell?
The
There's something weird out there.
A sigil of an eagle carrying arrows that looks a lot like the U.S. Department of Justice, but this isn't the DODC. That is a different logo. Whereas Sword was overseen by Hayward, and now perhaps either Monica Rambeau or Abigail Brand, maybe Nick Fury. The Rat prison was overseen by
Nick Fury. Nick Fury's out in space.
This agency may be under the supervision of Val, someone we know was involved in some shadowy government agency, and you could totally imagine Julia Louis-Dreyfus showing up in the series. Back at the firm, Jen's supervisor is Holloway, that being the same Holloway partner of this firm name, and it sounds like they're now branching out to handle cases pertaining to superheroes. The same kind of legal work provided by Matt Murdock in Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, while I imagine Matt Murdock would stick to the New York area, it's really only a matter of time before these two Marvel lawyers cross paths. So
yeah, it's gonna happen. Like I would assume that it's gonna happen like that. That in one episode it's gonna be like she's gonna be defending someone, and what's it called, Daredevil, Matt Murdock is gonna be appearing again, and he's gonna be like defending someone else. Like it's gonna be like a battle between like the lawyers. That would be freaking awesome.
Up on the show. That'd be awesome. Now Holloway specifically wants Janet to be the face of the superhero law.
Be the face of the division.
Come about after her tendency to Hulk out emerges. It looks like one of her clients is Emil Blonsky, aka Abomination, Tim Roth, returning from the 2008 Hulk film.
2008,
Abomination ended that film getting KO'd by Hulk in the Battle of Harlem, and was actually later the planned recruit by S.H.I.E.L.D. for one of the Avengers, until we saw in that Marvel one-shot, Coulson and Selvig used Tony Stark to talk Ross into recruiting Bruce Banner instead. Blonsky was name-dropped in an episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., apparently kept in a cold storage facility in Alaska, and of course we last saw Abomination in Shang-Chi, sparring with Wong in the Golden Daggers Club of Macau. Actually, when Wong opened that portal to take Abomination back,
this is what I wanted to point out, the fact that from the leak or whatever the hell they were talking about, that Wong is gonna be in this like series because of the fact of that he like opened this portal and put him in there, and now he's going back.
Room show that this is the same room that he is now in She-Hulk. Now Wong is confirmed to appear in this series as well. So
there it is.
Get some answers to why Wong was partnered with Abomination in that movie. Was Wong sneaking him out, or was this approved by the government? I'm wondering if these furloughs
training
were
him
part of a deal to train up Abomination
as
a government soldier as part of Val's Dark Avengers crew, maybe alongside Yelena Belova and John Walker, maybe Blonsky.
Oh, dude, John Walker freaking sucked. He was so pretentious and cocky. That's what I hated about this man.
Of Val's Dark Avengers crew, maybe alongside Yelena Belova
the Dark
and
Avengers.
John Walker.
Like he literally like did not have like the much strength to like do the best unless like he gets a character change and obviously like thinks more about like his whole team instead of himself, then I'll respect him.
Maybe
But
Blonsky now
no.
wants out of that deal, and that's why he is now lawyering up. Either way, I hope we get some kind of rematch between Hulk and Abomination in this series. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Let's see the fight.
Let them fight.
Moving on.
And a frustrating.
It's gonna happen one day.
We didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it.
Okay, Jennifer visits Bruce in his new home on this tropical coastline. Not sure where exactly this is, but later She-Hulk
The
wears
planet
a
of the
shirt
Hulks.
reading "I Heart Mexico." So this may be along the Mexican coastline, like.
What when it said the what's it called, the sure I love Mexico, it would be so hilarious the fact that if what's it called, that's where they meet up Venom, because I think didn't Venom and Venom 2 like end up in the shore like on Mexico because of that one scene that they had in Spider-Man.
The Yucatan?
Not even
Maybe
sure.
One of the places Banner stopped during his journey from Brazil to the US in the 2008 film. Let's not forget, all of that happened in the MCU, even though it feels like so long ago. Bruce
Yeah.
pulls out a binder, probably containing his research that he conducted over that 18 months in the Gamma Lab that he mentioned in Endgame, when he found some mysterious cure to reach his current
yeah.
balance and control over his Hulk abilities.
To become
And he says, you didn't
human
ask for this. So it really does
and
sound like the series might
Hulk.
be suggesting Jen's Hulk powers could start with a unique quality to their family DNA, which is
Awesome.
only now activated by a recent burst of gamma radiation. Now, notice how the shots here are taken from two different scenes. One where Hulk is wearing a zip-up hoodie, another where he's wearing this t-shirt. Amazing that he found one that fits
Different.
him. It's got an interesting logo. At first I thought this could be related to S.H.I.E.L.D., but the bolts emanating out of it make me wonder if this could actually be a logo that he made for himself in his gamma radiation, like his new Hulk logo. Now, folks, inflation is hitting us all hard right now, and that's a great reason to start using Upside.
All right,
Hulk could be
we're
teaching
back.
her how to relax and center herself. Meditation, remember, was a huge part of Bruce's regimen in the 2008 film. Now, we still do not know exactly
That's so
why
crazy, the fact
Bruce
that
was
they're-
shown in human.
That's still gonna be crazy. The fact that they're gonna try to cross-reference with the 2008 Hulk with this Hulk. That's still gonna be crazy. And damn, dude, Mark Ruffalo looks so old in this.
Form with his arm in a sling in that Shang-Chi post-credit scene, especially now that he's back in Hulk form with his arm completely healed. Kevin Feige told Screen Rant that that sling was intentional, and I have theorized that maybe Hulk depowered to human form to allow himself to give a life-saving transfusion to Jen, but the IMAX aspect ratio of that Shang-Chi post-credit scene showed Banner was also on his other arm wearing a piece of wrist tech with a glowing green piece to it, which now after Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness has come out, kind of reminds us of those 838 cufflinks that were powered by the green sands of Nasanti, those sands depowering the wearer for a certain amount of time. Maybe Wong gave Banner that cuff to depower him so that they could temporarily heal his arm when he was in human form. Because as Hulk, his flesh is otherwise so impenetrable they couldn't really do anything to him. Let's move on.
The transformations are triggered by
That
anger and
is
fear.
that is interesting.
The baseline of any woman just existing. Oh.
He's like, oh crap,
Feels like if I don't transform,
and there's an ad. But like that was a freaking awesome scene. The fact that she was like, Rockstars, freaking pushes that thing. Damn, dude.
Yes.
And they're like, no, 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 no.
Okay, down in the Gamma Lab, again, I think this is the one Hulk spent the 18 months in, Banner deliberately provokes Jen's anger with this torture device. Their swim gear indicates that this lab is underground, their tropical Mexican home. Now, whereas in the November teaser, the screens beside Banner showed Jen's face, here it shows an X-ray of her brain with the limbic system highlighted. The limbic system is the inner part of the brain that controls emotion.
They're
As
improving.
Banner now says, the Hulk abilities are activated by anger and fear. We flash back to Jen's car accident transformation, and while she can't exactly see a reflection fully, the car paint is green, which masks her own skin color change. And yeah,
Like,
we see
why?
this chamber is a total
It's like,
death
I'm
pod.
turning green now.
Razors spinning, and if you look closely at those razors, when she breaks them especially, you can see they are Stark Industries brand. So this means Tony Stark may have helped Banner set up this Gamma Lab during those 18 months, working alongside him as a lab partner to help him reach this wonderful smart Hulk state. Isn't that great? And after these razors successfully
dude.
trigger the fear to activate her She-Hulk form, Banner gives these thumbs up, looking just as he did to encourage the Avengers during their quantum experiment.
yeah.
And this experiment is about as much of an absolute win.
Time travel.
Excellent.
I just want to be a normal, anonymous lawyer.
Can you tell us where She-Hulk is?
Jen, you're a story
Yeah.
now.
She's gonna be
Your ass
everywhere.
looks crazy right now.
Okay, we see Jen in what looks like her childhood bedroom. There's a play poster for Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, which is a play all about physical transformation and the sexual arousal that arrives with it.
What
I
the
assume
hell?
Jen might relocate here after getting some unwanted media attention due to her condition. Then we see Jen in her She-Hulk form trying to go about her work routine, but finds herself just getting stared at. Even that receptionist snaps a photo using the flash with all this great
Using
natural
the
lighting.
flash.
Come on. Now, there's been a lot of chatter about the unfinished CGI on She-Hulk and her face in this trailer. I think it was bound to happen. It honestly doesn't bother me as
Well,
much
it's
as it
just
does
a
some of you.
trailer.
It really only strikes me in this one shot of Jennifer looking at her phone. And it's not so much the animation, it's really just the timing and the movement. Notice how her eyes are slightly out of sync with her body as it moves. Like, I get it. They're trying to animate this gesture of Jen reacting to something on the phone and then her eyes gesture to the side. Like, but they dart as her body is still straightening up, which just feels a little weirdly unnatural. Like, if you were animating a cartoon, you would do one move after the other. You'd have the back straighten and then the eyes dart to the side. And due to the uncanny valley effect that is encoded in our brains, our minds just weirdly accept more cartoony blocking as more naturalistic, which is why when you watch Pixar animation, they deliberately animate their characters to move more cartoony and slapsticky. Because we grew up watching cartoons, our brains just kind of accept that.
Oh, I love this.
That's why they call it
I always
uncanny
love that.
valley. You have to go a little bit beyond what would be natural movement so that when we watch animated green characters, we just accept it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with freaking Thanos, what's it called, Juggernaut, and all these like characters that have to have like physiques that are big, and obviously like that's crazy. The fact of how much they have to do like on the computing and like CGI, like the process is freaking long, but it looks amazing at the end of the day. But obviously this is just a trailer. Obviously the whole series isn't even out yet. And they already have, let's see, June, July. They have 2 months, 2 to 3 months, like at the least, to like configure everything that goes all right. And they just wanted to showcase just for the hype, because when I watched it, I was hyped.
I see this as an absolute win.
I will say, I really appreciate that they designed She-Hulk to have proportionately large hands, because remember, Hulk's fists are larger than a human's hands would be compared to the arms. But the problem is, you still just don't get a sense of the weight of the phone in her hands, the way that they showed the weight as Hulk pinched the tacos or clutched the sausage rolled in a pancake. Look, again, none of this is that big of a deal, I don't think. They're still rendering all these effects ahead of August, and I definitely don't think this is Sonic level bad. So let's just all chill,
Oh,
okay?
dude, the Sonic
Ultimately,
level
I
bad
just
was so
applaud
funny.
the series for leaning into the tone of the character She-Hulk, and especially the overt sexuality of the character, something that the comics do not shy away from, as She-Hulk was really an intentionally campy satire of the way comics as a whole would over-sexualize female superheroes. She-Hulk was really the first female superhero to completely own it and make it a joke. This show definitely seems to be embracing that. Like the shot of all the gawkers at the garden party, the woman on the left is the funniest to me. Like, come on, eyes up here, lady. Next.
It's like, damn that ass.
You could be an Avenger. Oh, I'm not a superhero. That is for
That's gonna-
billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans for some reason.
An adult orphan. Batman.
Jen bursts out of her shoes as someone tries to attack her from behind, her growth lifting him off his feet. This attacker wears an interesting helmet.
Like,
Emits
get
an
out of here.
energy glow. Not sure what this is, but it does remind me of the advanced hardware that Adrian Toomes' crew lifted from Chitauri Tech in Spider-Man Homecoming. Mickey encourages her to join the Avengers as we see She-Hulk and Hulk leaping beside each other on that island in a training montage. And while Hulk hits a superhero landing, I like how Jen does it. She just kind of lands in this less dignified squat with her elbows beneath her knees. Jen tells Nikki that the Avengers are for billionaires and narcissists and adult orphans, referring to
Batman.
Well, I guess Tony Stark, who was all of those things. But also, if you think about it, technically T'Challa might be the richest Avenger if you quantify the value of vibranium per ounce. And Peter Parker just lost the last of his parental guardians.
So
kind of
he's an
adult
orphan.
Who exactly are you throwing shade at here, Jen? And really, anytime Tatiana Maslany says orphan, one cannot help but think of Orphan Black, the series where she showcased her amazing talent. Then Jen, barefoot and clothes torn, suggesting she was not prepared to Hulk out here, tears across a damaged courtroom toward a foe. The other shot reveals this is Titania.
I knew it.
Mary McFerrin. She-Hulk's the longtime nemesis in the comics. Now Titania gets powered up by alien technology and has powers that rival Jen's. It looks like she smashed into this courtroom maybe to interrupt this trial, keep someone from testifying. Her outfit looks wild, something like a pro wrestler. But then there's a quick shot of this leaping dude. This is the fabulous Frogman, Eugene Petit.
Okay, this is where it's gonna throw me off, like the fact that there's a Frogman. Bro, like the freaking comic version of this is wild, but like, damn, that's gonna be amazing. Like, this is gonna look amazing. It's the fact that it's going with court cases, with superhumans, and we get to see fight scenes.
Tio, one of
So,
the real goofball
why not?
Marvel characters, son of the leapfrog, Vincent Tio, Eugene takes on his dad's frog costume. He adds these spring coils so that it can leap 6 stories in the air. He's shown up with Spider-Man, the Human Torch, as well as the Avengers in various comics.
Oh, that is
I just
so
wanna give a
awesome.
huge congrats to longtime Frogman stan MT for Frogman finally getting his MCU debut. I assume he'll be another one of Jen's cases. We get a quick shot of Abomination hulking out in his containment cell, ripping out of his inmate jumpsuit. As in Shang-Chi, the character has been redesigned from the 2008 film to better match his comic appearance. He now has fins on the side of his head, and as he bumps his head, the red glow flashes over that container cell, meaning this cell may be equipped to shock him with pain whenever he tries to hulk out.
He's like,
And on to the
hey,
last
chill,
one.
chill, chill.
Is there anything more depressing than dating in your 30s?
This is the best date I've had in a while.
This.
Should we split,
With some fries.
Let's get
Take
those
them
to
to
go.
go. And then this down bad scene that
So
a lot
Jen
of people
swipes her
started
dating app
doing.
on her phone, match her, and I like how she swipes right on everyone. And there's some great Easter eggs here, of course. Scott, dog lover, 8 miles away. Grant, jump rope king, 12 miles away.
Jump rope king.
Trying to be clever there, Grant. Nick, DJ, 60 miles away. Noah, director, 24 miles away. Nice scarf, Noah. But my favorite is Truck, local cutie, 32
Local
miles
cutie.
away.
I
Not
love
exactly
that.
local. But this is actually a cameo by series creator Jessica Gao's partner, artist
Oh.
Truck Torrance, and their cat Admiral Whiskers. Truck and the cat are wearing little captain's hats to salute the Admiral. So sweet of Jessica to get her local cutie in there. Now the other
Oh, that
names
is
she swipes
so
into we see from
adorable.
reverse are Bryce, Charles, Chris, Kevin, Feige, and
Kevin
Eric. And then we
Feige.
see a few of these dates, including one guy who flexes. This is actually WWE wrestler David Ortunga, but she ends the night with his other hunk.
No way. No way. That's David Otunga? Yo. I haven't seen this guy in WWE in so long.
Flexes. This is actually WWE wrestler David Ortunga.
Dude, that is so freaking wild. It looks like a different person. Yo, that is so wild. Like, I remember, like, the hate that he got, the freaking love that he got. Like, there was, like, mixed feelings about him. But, dude, that is so wild.
But she ends the night with his other hunk, taking those fries to go, and we end with her carrying the beefcake back to her room as his foot knocks the lamp. Again, folks, a hard yes to more sexual liberation, a rock hard yes, because
Rock
otherwise
hard
this
yes.
MCU, until an eternal sex scene, was completely puritanical. We never got any sex in the MCU. Sex
Yeah, that actually never happened. That was just, like, out of nowhere. Like, I remember I was, like, watching the Eternals, and then out of nowhere, like, oh, they're fucking. I was like, oh shit, they're doing the dirty in there.
This is a normal part of adult life. It's okay to have it. I'm super excited for the series to come to the MCU.
It's just like the first thing.
Because
That's like the
supporting
first
Rockstars by
movie.
checking out our merch options at NewRockstarsMerch.com.
That looks amazing. No, that's a fire. That's a fire shirt. This is like the concept of the Doctor Strange one. I would definitely get this for sure. But I think that'll be it. And obviously, I thought it was very interesting. I have learned some new stuff. I didn't know that one of the dates was David Otunga. There's Frogman. Obviously, Wong and Abomination are returning. And a bunch of other stuff. Pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Telling you, goes in a deep dive. And it's going to end up being reality. So, freaking awesome.